I stood at the altar in my custom Vera Wang gown, watching my fiancé Marcus adjust his tie one more time. The venue was perfect. The vineyards of Napa Valley stretching endlessly behind us, bathed in golden afternoon light. 200 guests sat waiting. My hands trembled slightly as I held my bouquet of white peonies. Then Marcus cleared his throat into the microphone. "Before we begin, I need to say something." His voice carried across the lawn. My heart swelled. Was he about to read me a surprise vow? Emma and I. We're not getting married today. The world tilted. I'm in love with someone else, someone who's been there for me in ways Emma never could. He turned, extending his hand toward the bridesmaids. "Sophia, will you marry me instead?" My maid of honor, my cousin Sophia, stepped forward. She was already crying, nodding. From her dress, she produced a different ring. They'd planned this. They'd orchestrated my humiliation in front of everyone I knew. I looked at my parents in the front row. My father's face was unreadable. My mother smiled, actually smiled, and started clapping. "Oh, how wonderful, Sophia darling. We always knew you two were perfect together." The guests erupted into confused murmurs, but several family members joined the applause. My aunt, Sophia's mother, was sobbing with joy. My younger brother Tyler was filming it on his phone, grinning. "Emma's always been so cold," Marcus continued, still holding the microphone like he was giving a TED Talk. "So focused on her career, never present. Sophia showed me what real love feels like." I stood there, frozen in white silk and lace, as my wedding turned into someone else's engagement party. The photographer kept shooting. The videographer kept recording. This would be everywhere by tomorrow. "Say something, Emma," my mother called out. "Be gracious. Be happy for them." I opened my mouth, but no words came. My throat had closed completely. "You should leave," my father said quietly, walking up to me. "You're making this awkward for everyone. This is Sophia's moment now." "My moment?" I finally found my voice. "This is my wedding." "Was your wedding," Tyler corrected, still filming. "Bro, this is going to get so many views." "Marcus, can you two kiss for the camera?" They did. Right there, at my altar, with my flowers, my music, my everything. I stumbled backward, my heel catching on the decorative stones. My sister, Emma, all of 19 years old, caught my arm. For a second, I thought she might defend me. Instead, she whispered, "Mom told me last week. We all knew. Honestly, Emma, you should have seen this coming. You're always working, never home. What did you expect?" I ripped my arm away from her and ran. The expensive dress caught on everything, the train dragging through grass and dirt. Behind me, I heard my mother announce, "Everyone, please stay. We'll continue with the reception as planned. Sophia and Marcus deserve a celebration." I made it to the bridal suite, a private cottage on the vineyard grounds. My hands shook so badly I could barely turn the key. Inside, I collapsed against the door. My phone, tucked into my clutch, started buzzing. Text after text. "Mom, where did you go? Come back and be supportive." "Tyler, this is viral content, sis. You should thank us, lol." My best friend Rachel. "Emma, I'm so sorry, I didn't know. I swear I didn't know." "Dad, your behavior today was unacceptable. We'll discuss your trust fund access when you've calmed down." My trust fund. The one I'd never touched because I built my own marketing firm from scratch. The one they held over my head anyway, like I was still 12. I looked at myself in the mirror. $30,000 of dress and another 20 in hair and makeup. I'd paid for all of it myself because I wanted my parents to be proud, to stop comparing me to perfect Sophia who'd never had a real job but somehow deserved everything. A knock at the door made me jump. "Emma?" A woman's voice, unfamiliar. "I'm Victoria Chen. I own this vineyard. May I come in?" I didn't answer, but she opened the door anyway. She was maybe 40, in an elegant black pantsuit, with silver jewelry that probably cost more than my dress. Her expression was kind but businesslike. "I've been watching from my office," she said, closing the door behind her. "I've seen a lot of weddings go sideways, but that was..." She paused, choosing her words. "Cruel. They planned it," I heard myself say. "Everyone knew but me." Victoria poured me a glass of water from the sweets bar. "I heard your mother mention your trust fund. And I heard her tell the caterer to charge the full amount to your card on file. Of course. Of course they'd make me pay for Sophia's engagement party. I have a proposition, Victoria said, sitting across from me. I need a partner for an event tonight. A very important event. My investors are concerned that I'm not settled enough to handle the expansion they're funding. They're traditional. They want to see stability. I stared at her. You want me to be your date? Today? Now? Not a date. A wife. She said it so casually, like she was ordering coffee. Just for tonight. Maybe a few weeks. I'll pay you $50,000, cover all your expenses, and you can stay in my Nob Hill property as long as you need. No strings attached. You're insane. I'm practical. She pulled out her phone, showing me photos of a stunning San Francisco townhouse. You need to disappear. They're already posting about you online. Your brother's video is spreading. In a few hours, you'll be a meme. Or you can come with me. Walk into a room of San Francisco's elite on my arm and show them all that you landed on your feet. I thought about my parents celebrating Sophia. About Marcus probably dancing with her right now to what was supposed to be our first dance song. About going home to the apartment Marcus and I shared, his things still there, his excuses already prepared. Why me? I asked. You could hire an actress. Because you're real. Your pain is real. When you stand next to me tonight, angry and betrayed and fierce, you won't have to pretend. You'll be genuine. And that's exactly what I need. She extended her hand. Also, you happen to be already dressed for the part. I looked down at my wedding dress. She had a point. One night? I asked. Maybe more, if you're willing. But we'll start with tonight. There's a car waiting at the service entrance. We have 2 hours to get you to the city. Changed and briefed. I thought about walking back out there. About fake smiling through an event I'd planned for months. About letting them win. What's the event? I asked. Tech Investors Gala at the Fairmont. Black tie. California's elite. I need them to believe I'm committed to stability, to roots, to legacy. A wife helps with that narrative. She checked her watch. Decide now, Emma. In 10 minutes. Your father will come looking for you to force an apology. She was right. I could already hear voices outside, someone suggesting they check on me. I stood up. The dress suddenly felt less like a symbol of humiliation and more like armor. Let's go, I said. Victoria's smile was sharp. Excellent. Leave everything here except your phone. We'll say you're on your honeymoon. By the time they realize you're gone, you'll be untouchable. We slipped out the service exit where a black Tesla waited. As we pulled away, I saw my mother and Sophia laughing together on the lawn, champagne glasses raised. Marcus had his arm around Sophia's waist. Good. Let them celebrate. They had no idea what was coming. The drive to San Francisco was a blur. Victoria made phone calls in rapid Mandarin, occasionally switching to English to brief me. She'd built Chen Ventures from nothing, turned her family's small vineyard into a wine empire, then pivoted to tech investments. She was worth $800 million. She was also facing pressure from her traditional investors, who thought a single woman couldn't be trusted with their expansion into Asian markets. They're dinosaurs, she said flatly. But they're dinosaurs with money and connections. I need 6 months. After that, the deals are signed, and I can divorce you quietly. You get your payout and a reference that will open any door in the Bay Area. Why not just hire someone you actually know? Because everyone I know would eventually talk. You have no connections to my world. You're perfect, she glanced at me. Plus, you have the look. Professional, polished, exactly the kind of woman they'd expect me to marry. We arrived at a Pacific Heights townhouse that looked like something from Architectural Digest. Victoria led me through marble floors and vaulted ceilings to a master suite bigger than my entire apartment. Shower, hair, makeup, dress. You have 90 minutes. She opened a closet revealing dozens of designer gowns. Pick anything. We're the same size. How do you know my size? I pay attention. She pulled out a midnight blue Oscar de la Renta. This one. It'll photograph well. A team materialized from nowhere. Stylists, makeup artists, a woman who specialized in emergency transformations. They stripped me out of my wedding dress with clinical efficiency, like doctors performing surgery. The shower was hot and endless. Someone washed my hair 3 times, removing every trace of the bridal styling. When I looked in the mirror again, I was different. The soft, romantic bridal look was gone. In its place was something sleek and powerful. Diamond earrings I hadn't put on myself. A haircut I hadn't requested, but that framed my face perfectly. The blue dress fit like it was made for me, probably because it cost more than I made in a month. Victoria appeared in the doorway, now in a white tuxedo that made her look like old Hollywood royalty. Perfect. Now, details. We met 6 months ago at a wine tasting in Sonoma. You're a marketing executive, which is true. We bonded over our shared experience of building something from nothing. We got married last week in a private ceremony because we didn't want press attention. My family? They don't know yet. We'll announce it after tonight. Let them find out on page 6. Her smile was cold. Revenge is a dish best served in print media. My phone buzzed. 47 missed calls, 63 texts, 3 voicemails from my mother demanding I return immediately and apologize to Marcus for making a scene. I turned it off. Good, Victoria said. Tonight, you're nobody's daughter, nobody's ex-fiancé. You're Emma Chen, my wife, and you're about to walk into a room where your presence alone is worth millions. She offered her arm. Ready? I wasn't, but I took it anyway. The Fairmont was lit up like a palace. Photographers lined the red carpet, flashing already going. Victoria stepped out of the car first, turning back to offer me her hand with a practiced smile. Mrs. Chen, she said loudly enough for cameras to hear. Shall we? The flashes intensified as I stepped out. Someone shouted, Victoria, who's your date? My wife, Victoria said casually, like it was old news. Emma Chen. We married last week. The reporters went insane. Questions flew at us from every direction, but Victoria just kept walking, her hand firmly on my lower back, guiding me through the chaos like she'd done it 1,000 times. Inside, the gala was everything my vineyard wedding was supposed to be. Elegant, sophisticated, powerful people in expensive clothes making deals over champagne. But here, I wasn't the abandoned bride. I was Victoria Chen's wife. People stared, but with curiosity and interest, not pity. Victoria, a silver-haired man in an immaculate suit approached. I heard rumors, but I didn't believe them. You, married? Harrison, meet Emma. Victoria's hand stayed on my waist. Emma? This is Harrison Caldwell. He's been trying to buy into Chen Ventures for 2 years. 3, Harrison corrected, but he was smiling. He shook my hand. What finally made her settle down? We all thought Victoria was married to her work. I found something more important, I heard myself say. The lie came easier than expected. Someone who understands that building an empire is better with a partner. Victoria's fingers tightened slightly on my waist. Approval. Harrison nodded sagely. Smart woman. Victoria, we should talk about that expansion. With your new stability. The board might reconsider the timeline. Monday, Victoria said smoothly. Tonight, I'm just here to dance with my wife. She led me to the floor as a jazz quartet started playing. Her hand found mine, the other resting properly at my waist. She led with confidence, spinning me effortlessly. You're good at this, she murmured. I took ballroom lessons. Marcus refused to practice, so I trailed off. His loss. Victoria spun me again, and I caught our reflection in the mirrored wall. We looked perfect together, like we'd done this 1,000 times. My phone, tucked in Victoria's assistant's bag somewhere, was probably exploding. Someone at the wedding had seen the news. Marcus, Sophia, my mother. Good. What are you thinking? Victoria asked. That's 6 hours ago. I was the joke, the abandoned bride. And now I'm here, and they're still there, in Napa, eating my cake. Their loss. Victoria dipped me slightly, and cameras flashed. This would be in tomorrow's Chronicle. Emma, I need you to understand something. This arrangement benefits me, yes, but it can benefit you too. Not just the money. Connections. Access. A chance to rebuild away from people who treated you like you were disposable. Why do you care? Because I know what it's like to be underestimated. Her voice was quiet, just for me. To have people assume you'll fail, to prove them wrong and have them still not respect you. You want revenge? The best revenge is becoming someone they can't touch. The song ended. Victoria released me, but not before whispering, "Trust me on this. By Monday, they'll be begging to have you back, and you'll be too far above them to even hear it." We worked the room for hours. Victoria introduced me to venture capitalists, tech founders, old money families who'd been in San Francisco for generations. I used every skill I'd built in marketing, every lesson from building my own firm. I was charming. I was sharp. I was everything Marcus said I couldn't be because I was too focused on work. Around 11, Victoria's phone buzzed. She glanced at it, then showed me the screen. A tabloid headline: Tech heiress Victoria Chen secretly married to marketing exec Emma Hayes. Below it, a photo of us on the red carpet. I looked radiant. Happy. Nothing like the destroyed woman from this morning. "Your brother's video is in the article," Victoria said quietly. "They're comparing the timeline, asking if you left your own wedding for another woman." My stomach dropped. "They think I'm the bad guy? Does it matter?" Victoria pocketed her phone. "Let them think what they want. You know the truth. I know the truth. And in a few days, when the real story comes out about how your fiancé and cousin planned your humiliation, public opinion will shift hard. Trust me, I have a very good publicist." A woman approached us. Older, elegant, with sharp eyes. "Victoria, you must introduce me to your wife. Mrs. Montgomery, this is Emma." "Emma, Mrs. Montgomery sits on the board of Chen Ventures." The woman studied me with the intensity of a jeweler examining a diamond. "Marketing executive, I hear. Which firm?" "Hayes Marketing Solutions. I founded it 4 years ago." I kept my voice steady. "Small operation?" "We started small. Now we handle campaigns for mid-sized tech companies. Last year's revenue was 2.3 million. Her eyebrows rose slightly. "Impressive. Self-made, like Victoria." She turned to Victoria. "I approve. It's about time you found someone who understands what building something means. Someone with their own ambitions." After she left, Victoria let out a breath. That was the hardest sell. If she approves, the others will follow. "Is that all this is?" I asked. "Approval? Tonight, yes. Tomorrow?" Victoria's expression softened slightly. "Tomorrow, we figure out how to make you disappear from your old life so completely that when they come looking, they'll find nothing but locked doors." We left around midnight. The car ride back was quiet. I stared out at the San Francisco lights, thinking about Marcus and Sophia probably just now cutting into the cake I'd chosen, the cake I'd paid for. "They'll call tomorrow," Victoria said. "Your family, demanding explanations, threatening you. It's what people like that do when they lose control." "How do you know?" "Because my family did the same thing when I refused an arranged marriage at 22. When I took my inheritance and built something they couldn't control." She looked at me. "They called for 6 months. I never answered. Eventually, they stopped. Now they call because they want something from me. I get to decide if I give it." Back at the townhouse, Victoria showed me to a guest suite. "Your room. The master is mine. We'll keep separate spaces. Tomorrow, we'll move your things from your apartment. I'll send movers while Marcus is at work." "He'll be at work? After today?" "Men like him always are. The world didn't end for him, so why would he take time off?" Victoria's jaw tightened. "Get some rest. Tomorrow starts your new life." I didn't sleep. I lay in Egyptian cotton sheets in a room that cost more than my annual rent, and I thought about my mother clapping, about my father telling me to leave, about Tyler filming it all like it was content, not my destruction. My phone, which Victoria's assistant had returned, sat on the nightstand. I turned it on. 147 notifications. I scrolled through them. Most were what I expected: anger, demands, threats about the trust fund. But then I saw one from Rachel. "I'm so sorry. I saw what they did. I left right after you did. Call me when you're ready. I'm here." And one from my company partner, David, saw the news, both versions. "Building stands with you. Also, that dress is fire. Call Monday. We need to strategize." Not everyone had abandoned me. I started typing responses, then stopped. Victoria was right. Let them wonder. Let them panic. I opened Instagram instead. My personal account, which I rarely used. I posted a single photo, one of the professional shots from tonight's red carpet. Me and Victoria, looking powerful and happy. Caption: New beginnings. I didn't tag anyone, didn't explain, just posted and turned off the phone again. By morning, it had 10,000 likes. By noon, 50,000. The comments were a war zone, half calling me a cheater, half calling Marcus and Sophia trash. My mother had tried to comment 3 times. Instagram kept deleting them, probably because they violated community guidelines on harassment. Victoria found me in the kitchen, staring at my phone over coffee. "The story broke properly," she said, sliding a tablet across the counter. A think piece from a major outlet. The bride left at the altar was actually the one who escaped. Someone had leaked the full context, the planning, the texts between Marcus and Sophia, screenshots of my mother congratulating them privately weeks ago. Tyler's video had been analyzed frame by frame, showing my sister smirking in the background. "How?" I asked. "I told you. Good publicist." Victoria poured herself coffee. "Your family is currently being eaten alive online. Your ex is being called a narcissist. Your cousin is being accused of being a homewrecker. And you? You're the woman who walked away from toxicity into success." My phone rang. Mom calling. I declined it. It rang again immediately. Dad, this time. Declined. Text from Tyler. "You need to make a statement. They're destroying us, you selfish bitch." I blocked him. "Good," Victoria said, watching me. "Now, we go shopping. You need a full wardrobe. We have another event Wednesday, a charity auction Friday, and a tech conference next week in Los Angeles. You're about to become very visible." "Is this still pretend?" I asked. Victoria tilted her head, considering. "The marriage is a business arrangement, but the friendship? That could be real, if you want it. I don't have many friends, Emma. People like me don't. Too much money, too much power. Everyone wants something. But you? You didn't want this. You fell into it. That makes you different." We spent the day transforming my life. Victoria's assistant coordinated movers to get my things from the apartment I'd shared with Marcus. Everything I owned fit into 8 boxes. Victoria's house had 3 floors and felt empty even with staff moving through it. "You lived small," Victoria observed as we unpacked in my new room. "I was saving. For the wedding. For a house down payment. For something that doesn't exist anymore." I held up my marketing award from last year. 3rd place in the regional competition. I worked so hard to prove I could build something that mattered. "You did build something that matters." Victoria took the award, placing it on the mantel. "Your firm, your reputation, your independence. They can't take that away. Marcus couldn't. Your family can't." A text came through on my new number, the one only Victoria had. It was from Rachel. "However you got this number, I'm impressed. Lunch this week? I want to hear everything. And I mean everything." I smiled. "Can I invite a friend to lunch?" "Your life," Victoria said. "You don't need my permission. But if she's coming here, security needs to vet her first." Rachel nearly fainted when she walked into the townhouse on Tuesday. Emma, what the actual hell happened this weekend?" We sat in Victoria's private library, and I told her everything. The altar, the run, Victoria's offer, the gala, the new life. "So you're married to Victoria Chen," Rachel said slowly. "As in, the Victoria Chen. And it's fake, but also, maybe not fake? It's complicated. It's insane." But Rachel was grinning. Do you know what this means? You're untouchable now. Your family can't hurt you. Marcus can't hurt you. You're protected by someone with actual power. For 6 months. Then we divorce. A lot can happen in 6 months." Rachel leaned forward. "Including you actually falling for your fake wife. Have you seen the photos from that gala? The way she looks at you? It's acting. Maybe for her. But you're glowing. I haven't seen you this alive in years. Marcus drained you. Your family drained you. And now?" Rachel gestured at the library. "The view, the life. Now you're thriving." That night, Victoria and I attended a charity auction. Another red carpet. More photos. More questions about our relationship. I was getting better at the lies. Or maybe they were becoming less like lies. Victoria's hand on my back felt natural now. The way we moved together felt practiced, comfortable. When we got home, Victoria poured us both wine. You did well tonight. Harrison cornered me at the bar. He's ready to sign the expansion deal. Because of you. Because he thinks you're stable. Because he thinks we're real. Victoria swirled her wine. Emma, I need to tell you something. The contract I had my lawyer draft? I'm tearing it up. My heart stopped. You're ending this? No. I'm changing it. You're not an employee. You're not hired help. If we're doing this, we're doing it as equals. 50-50 partnership. In everything. The events, the business opportunities, the public image. And when it ends, if it ends, you get a percentage of Chen Ventures. A real stake. Victoria, that's worth millions. You're earning it. She set down her glass. In 3 days, you've handled more pressure than most people see in a year. You've been graceful under fire. You've made me look good, yes, but you've also made yourself invaluable. I don't want a fake wife. I want a partner. What about the 6 months? Still the timeline. But let's see where we are then. Maybe we extend it. Maybe we renegotiate. Maybe we actually become friends. She smiled. Or maybe you decide you hate me and want out. That's fine too. I thought about Marcus, who never wanted me to succeed too much because it made him feel small. About my family, who saw my achievements as threats to Sophia's spotlight. And here was Victoria, offering me more than I'd ever imagined because I'd proved I could handle it. Partners, I said, extending my hand. Victoria shook it. Partners. The calls from my family never stopped. But they did change. First it was anger, then it was bargaining, then it was threats. Then, finally, it was begging. My mother left a voicemail 2 weeks in. Emma, darling, we need to talk about this. You're embarrassing the family. That woman is using you. Come home. We can fix this. Fix what? I thought. The humiliation you caused? The trust you broke? My father tried a different approach, calling from the firm he'd built that I'd never been invited to join. Emma, I'll put you on the board. 20% stake. Just end this circus and come back. Now I was worth something. Now I had value. Because Victoria Chen's wife had value. I didn't respond to any of them. 3 weeks in, Marcus called from an unknown number. Emma, we need to talk. This is getting out of hand. Sophia is being harassed online. Your family is suffering. Just admit this is a PR stunt and end it. No, I said simply. No? Emma, be reasonable. We can work this out. I made a mistake. Sophia made a mistake. We can fix this. You humiliated me in front of 200 people. You planned it. You made me pay for your engagement party. And now you want me to fix your problem? I laughed. It felt good. Marcus, you're right about one thing. This is a PR stunt. But not for me. For you. You wanted attention. You got it. Enjoy. I hung up. Blocked the number. Felt lighter than I had in years. Victoria found me on the roof deck, staring at the city lights. Family? Ex-fiancé. Wants me to admit this is fake so he stops being internet famous for the wrong reasons. She handed me a glass of wine. Are you having doubts? About this? No. About them? No. I took a sip. I keep waiting to feel sad, to miss them, to want them back. But I don't. Is that wrong? It's honest. Victoria leaned on the railing next to me. My family cut me off when I refused to marry the man they chose. I didn't speak to them for 8 years. When my father finally called to apologize. Do you know what I felt? What? Nothing. The power they had over me was gone. I'd built a life they couldn't touch. I didn't need their approval anymore. She looked at me. You're getting there too. Faster than I did. Because of you. Because of you. I gave you a door. You walked through it. Everything else? That's your strength, not mine. A notification lit up my phone. Victoria glanced at it. What is it? An interview request. From Forbes. They want to do a feature on modern power couples in tech. I showed her. They want to interview us together. What do you want to do? 6 months ago, I would have said no. Would have worried about what Marcus thought. What my parents thought. Whether I deserved to be in Forbes. Now? Let's do it, I said. Let's show them exactly who Emma Chen is. The Forbes interview happened 4 weeks into our arrangement. The journalist was sharp, asking questions about our relationship, our individual careers, how we balanced power and partnership. Emma, she asked, you went from a small marketing firm to being Victoria Chen's wife in a matter of days. Some people have suggested this is opportunistic. How do you respond? I could have gotten defensive. Instead, I smiled. I'd say they're not entirely wrong. I absolutely took an opportunity. After being abandoned at my own wedding, humiliated by people who were supposed to love me, I had a choice. Crawl back and apologize for existing, or step into something new. I chose new. If that makes me opportunistic, I'll wear that label proudly. Victoria's hand found mine under the table. Support. The journalist nodded, satisfied. And Victoria, why Emma? Why marriage? You've been openly opposed to relationships interfering with business. Because Emma understands that relationships don't have to interfere. They can elevate. Victoria's voice was firm. She built her own company. She knows what it takes to succeed. When I look at Emma, I don't see someone who needs me. I see someone who chose to partner with me. That's the difference. The article ran 2 weeks later. The headline, Victoria Chen and Emma Hayes, Rewriting the Rules of Partnership. It went viral. My company's website crashed from traffic. We gained 40 new clients in a week. David called me, laughing. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. We just landed the Morrison account. They specifically asked for you. My family saw it too. I know because my mother tried to call 63 times in one day. I didn't answer. Instead, Victoria and I flew to Los Angeles for a tech conference where I was invited to speak on a panel about marketing in the digital age. Me, Emma Hayes, who'd been abandoned in a wedding dress 2 months ago. I walked onto that stage in a custom suit Victoria had made for me, and I owned it. I talked about building brands, about authenticity, about turning crisis into opportunity. Afterward, a young woman approached me. Maybe 25, eyes wide. Miss Hayes, I just wanted to say thank you. I saw what happened at your wedding. I saw how they treated you. And then I saw you here. And I just, thank you for showing us we don't have to stay where we're not valued. I hugged her. This stranger who saw something in my story that mattered. That night, Victoria and I had dinner on a rooftop restaurant overlooking the city. The 6-month mark was approaching. We hadn't talked about what came next. Emma, Victoria said, setting down her fork, I need to tell you something. My heart seized. This was it. The end. The board approved the expansion. Harrison signed. Mrs. Montgomery signed. Everyone signed. I have everything I needed from this arrangement. Oh, I said quietly. So we're done. That's not what I said. Victoria reached across the table, taking my hand. I said I have what I needed from the business arrangement. But Emma, somewhere in the last 6 months, this stopped being business for me. I stared at her. I don't know when it happened, she continued. Maybe the gala, when you held your ground with Harrison. Maybe the Forbes interview, when you defended yourself without apologizing. Maybe it was yesterday, when I came home and you'd cooked dinner just because you wanted to. She squeezed my hand. I don't want a fake wife anymore. I don't want a business partner. I want you. For real. Victoria. I know this is complicated. I know you've been through hell. I know you might not feel the same way. But I needed to tell you before the 6 months were up, because I don't want you to leave thinking this was still just an arrangement for me. I thought about Marcus, who never once asked what I wanted, who made decisions for both of us and expected gratitude, who loved me only when I was small enough to fit in his shadow. And I thought about Victoria, who'd given me space to grow, who'd celebrated my successes, who'd become my friend first, before anything else. I don't want it to be fake either, I admitted. I think I've been falling for you for weeks. I just didn't know if I was allowed to. Victoria smiled, and it transformed her entire face. You're allowed to feel whatever you want, Emma. You're allowed to want things, to take up space, to be loved without conditions. Is that what this is? Love? I think it could be. If you want it to be. I did. God, I did. We didn't kiss that night. We just sat there, hands intertwined, talking about what real looked like, what we both wanted, where we went from here. By the time we got back to San Francisco, we'd decided. No more fake, no more arrangement. We'd see where this went, naturally, honestly. The 6-month mark came and went. We didn't divorce. We renewed our vows privately, just the two of us, on Victoria's vineyard at sunset. No guests, no family, just us, choosing each other. My family found out from the same gossip site everyone else did. My mother called, of course. I almost didn't answer, but I did. Emma, this is insane. You can't actually stay married to that woman. Come home. We'll figure this out. Mom, I said calmly. I am home. Victoria is my home. The life we've built together is my home. You stopped being my home the moment you clapped when Marcus humiliated me. That's not fair. We were just supporting Sophia. I know. You made your choice. Now live with it. I paused. I'm doing better than I ever did with you. I'm happy. I'm successful. I'm loved. You don't get to take credit for any of that. Emma, I'm done, Mom. I'm done being the daughter you tolerate instead of the daughter you celebrate. I'm done being the one who has to earn love while Sophia just receives it. I'm done. I hung up. For the last time. Victoria found me on the roof again. Our spot now. How do you feel? Free, I said. And I meant it. A year after the wedding that never happened, Victoria and I hosted our own celebration. A real one. At her vineyard, surrounded by people who actually loved us. Rachel was there. David was there. Victoria's team was there. The investors who'd become friends were there. My family wasn't invited. They wouldn't have come anyway. As Victoria and I stood together, actually exchanging vows this time, I thought about that woman in the white dress, stranded and broken. I thought about the choice I'd made to get in that car, to trust a stranger, to take a risk. Best decision I ever made. Not because Victoria saved me, but because she gave me the space to save myself. And when she kissed me in front of everyone we loved, it wasn't for show. It wasn't for investors or boards or public image. It was real. We were real. That's the thing they never tell you about revenge. The best kind isn't destruction. It isn't making them hurt the way they hurt you. The best revenge is building something so beautiful, so real, so entirely yours, that when they finally realize what they lost, you're already too far ahead to hear them calling you back. I never looked back. And I never regretted it.